This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so next concept is if statement subsetting. Next concept is if statement subsetting. It continues processing only those observations that meet the condition. So it will continue processing only the observations that meet the condition. So now you can see here, I have a data set DS1. From this data set, if you want team red, okay, from this, if you want team red, you can get, right? So now you can see, so my data set has the variables ID, name, team, start weight, end weight, correct? My data set has the variables ID number, name, team, start weight, end weight. Okay, right. Now you see here from this data, I wanted to pick only people who belong to team red. So for this, we have already learned different ways. We can use where concept, we can use if statement, you can use it grid single threading. We already have used all these points, correct? Right. So now if you see here, if I just run the program, you see here, I have a data set DS2. So if team is equal to red, how many observations I get? How many observations I get? How many observations I get? Come on, guys.
Sir, 3, sir.
So I get 3 observations. Number first, third, and fifth. Correct. So I get 3 observations into my data set DS2. This is very simple, basic thing which we have already have done. Correct. So if team is equal to red, it continues processing only those observations that meet a particular condition. If this condition is satisfied, then only it will store that record into dataset DS2. So how it will work also, we have seen earlier only, correct? ఇంతకు ముందే చూసాం కదా 0 years experience how they will write, 1 year experience person how they will write. We already have seen this, right? Yes or no? Right. Next. Next. If then statement. If then statement, what it will do is, if team is equal to red, if this condition is satisfied, then next perform. It will allow you to perform next action. Okay, if this is satisfied, what next? So in this case, you can write then statement. If then statement, they along with if. Okay. So if team is equal to red, what I wanted to do if team is red, okay. So what next? So I wanted to make the value as 1. If team is red, then I wanted to make the value as 1. Okay, right. So data DS3 set DS1. If team is equal to red, then team equal to 1. Okay, right. So now I have a data set DS3. You can see I have a data set DS3. You can see. So if team is equal to red, then team equal to 1 means in first row for team variable I'll see 1, third row I see team variable 1, and fifth row I see team variable 1. Correct? That is how my data is correct. So now if I run the program, you see DS3 data set, row number 1, 3 and 5, you'll see 1 in place of red. Wherever it is red, it is changing to 1. Correct? You see it, right? మీకు గుర్తున్నా ఇంతకుముందు ప్రాప్ ఫార్మాట్. So if sex is equal to M, then sex is equal to male. So instead of writing these many if then conditions, I have written proc format. Gurtunda if then proc format, user defined format cheppinappudu I covered it.
Yes, sir.
Gurtunda, if 6 is equal to m, then 6 is equal to mel, email I
Yes,
have
sir.
written for text. Correct? Same here. If this condition is satisfied, then it will perform next action. Next action is I wanted to make it as 1. Fine. So it will make it as 1. Right. Next. Data DS3A. If team is equal to red, then team is equal to 1. If team is equal to red, then team is equal to 1. If it is red, it is 1. If it is yellow, 2. If it is green, 3. If it is blue, 4. So if you run the program here, you write 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, orange. For orange, did I write any condition here? For orange, did
No,
I write
sir.
any condition here? No, right? So it is as it is. Orange is left as it is. Right. So you write condition for orange, it will also display number. Right now I have not used any such, so it is not showing any number for it. Right. So now I have given as team 1, correct? Right. So now you can see here, this is team equal to 1. I have a data set DS3B. If team equal to red, then team equal to R. If team equal to yellow, team equal to Y. If team equal to green, team equal to G. If team equal to blue, team equal to B. Right. Okay. So now not only once, right? So not only once, right? So if you wanted to give alphabets also, you can do that. Earlier I have given numbers, right? If you wanted to give alphabets also, I can do that. So if I run 3B, what happens? How it will work? What it will work? How it will work?
In the place of red, it display as R, sir. Likewise, yellow,
So,
green, blue.
correct. So wherever you have red, it will display text capital R. Wherever it is yellow, it is Y. Correct. So this is how it will work. Okay, right. Next. So if I run the program 3B, you see. So you see RYGB. You see, right? RYGB. Okay, right. Next. Next. So Raj, I am confused. Okay. So what is my confusion is exactly in place of red it is giving R or not. Okay, exactly it is giving R or not. Okay, right. So now you see data DS3C. Okay, so using if then statement, you can create a new variable. Using if then statement, you can create a new variable, right? So what happens is if team is equal to 1, it will create a new variable called R, right? Right. So now you can see ds3c, it is creating a new variable. So now you can cross check if it is red, exactly R or not, if it is yellow, Y or not. Is it clear to everyone, yes or no? If then statement?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right. So now you can see. This is how it works. So you guys are clear. So underline this point, read this note once. Read this note. Whenever you are using if then statement, whenever you are using if then statement, it will take length of the variable as first value, whatever it is entered. Whenever we are using if then statement, it will take length as first variable value. So value, first value, whatever the value it is reading. In this case, it will take that value. Okay, right. So now you can see, suppose to say in place of blue, I wanted to write it as BL. In place of blue, I wanted to write it as BL. But what is the first value we are entering into this variable? If team is equal to red, then team equal to R, correct? If team is equal to red, then team equal to R. That is what we are entering the value, correct? So whatever the value you are reading first into this variable, it takes length of that variable. R is only one character, right? It will show, it will take only one character. Means in place of BL, it will show as B. If you see DS3C data set, so for, okay, orange in the, so it will take length of the variable as this. So 1 second. Team 1, sorry. So it is when you are creating a new variable. So now if you run the program, you see it will display B. In place of BL, it is displaying only B. Right? So it is displaying only B because length of the variable. So whatever the value we first enter, it is R. R is, you see, only one character. So length of the variable, it will define as one character. Right. So you see here, length of the variable, it is defining as one character. So even though it has BL, it was able to read only B because the maximum capacity it can store is only one character. So that is what explained in this note. If you read the note, whenever you are creating a new variable using if then statement, it will take length based on number of characters in first input value. Whatever the first value you are writing into that variable, so how many characters are there, that many characters it will create length. Please make sure and use length statement to define length for a new variable. So if you wanted to, if you have more than that number of characters, please use length statement. Okay, please use length statement. Right. Is that clear everyone? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right. So I have to use len statement so that it will display as BL. So now if you see right now it is B, right? So if you use len statement, LENGTH, length, team1 dollar 8 dot. If you run this 3C, you see, right? So BL you can see, right? You can see BL, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right. So this is how it is. Next, if then statement, if then else, if then else. Data DS4. If team equal to red, then team equal to 1. If team equal to red, team equal to 1, else team equal to 2. So if you run the program, you see if team is equal to red, then team equal to 1. Okay, right. So now if you run the program DS4, you see, right? See, apart from red, whatever the color it is, I want it to display as 2. Apart from red, whatever the color it is, I want to display as 2. You see, right? So apart from red, whatever the color I want to display as 2. So in this case, if you are using if then statements, what I have to write? If team is equal to red, then team equal to 1. If team is equal to yellow, okay, so then team equal to 2. If team equal to green, then team equal to 2. If team equal to blue, then team equal to 2. If team equal to orange, then team equal to 2. You have to write these many, you know, if then conditions. You have to write these many if then conditions. Okay, right. So now, right. So if you just run the program here, data DS4A, you can see DS4A, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4. But DS4, if you see, apart from red, rest everything it will show 2. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right. So now you can see here. So if team is equal to red, team equal to 1. Team equal to yellow, team equal to 2. Team equal to green, team equal to 3. Team equal to 4 else. Okay, right. So now you see here, if it is red, 1. If it is yellow, 2. So wherever it is red, it will mark it as 1. And it is yellow 2, green 3, rest all is 4. Right. Next. So for blue and orange, you see, right, it is 4. Correct? Apart from red, yellow, green, whatever the color it is, it should display 4. Okay, right. Next. If then else output. If this condition is satisfied, then store this record into a separate data set. If this condition is satisfied, store this information into a separate data set. Okay. So if you remember in our first session, so whenever I explained how to use multiple data statement options in one go. So if sex is equal to male, then output ds1, else output ds2. This example I have covered. How many of you remember this? How many of you remember this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
You guys remember this, right?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Right. So now you can see here, same concept, I'm applying it here. Now I have a data set ds5. So ds5 I wanted to store all red values. So what are the observations belonging to red? So I wanted to read into that. Okay, right. Next. Next. If it is not red, I wanted to read into separate data set. If it is not red, I wanted to read into separate data set. So if team is equal to red, then output ds5. Okay, if team is equal to red, then output ds5, else output ds6. Okay, right. Next, so ds5, if you see here, if I run, I see all the people who belong to team red. Now you see, right, it is red. So now ds6, if you see, apart from red, you see rest all colors. Totally there are 9 observations. 3 observations are reading there. Other 6 observations are reading here. Okay, right. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Next. So everyone clear, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
now moving on to next concept. DS5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, right. So if you see here, DS5, what values I get in DS5, DS6, DS7? So
In
now,
DS5, we get the red related values.
mm,
DS6 yellow team values, DS7 green values, and rest all in DS8 values.
correct. So DS5, it will see all red, DS6 yellow, DS7 green, DS8 other colors. So if you run this, DS5 will get 3 observations. DS6 will get 3 observations, DS7 will get 1 observation, and DS8 will contain 2 observations. So you see all the values DS6, DS7, DS8. You see it right? So fine, this is how it is. Next. If then else delete. If this condition is satisfied, simply delete this record. Okay, if this condition is satisfied, simply delete this record. So now data DS9, you see, if this condition is satisfied, simply delete that record. Right. Right. So now you can see here DS9. If team equal to red, then delete. DS9, what it will do? You can see here, right? It will delete all the red observations you have restored. Next, DS9, DS10. So if team is equal to red, then delete. Else output to DS10. Output to DS10 means what happens? Output to DS10 means what happens? So it will store that information. If it is not red, it will store that information into DS10. Okay. So DS9 will be empty in this case. In this case, DS9 will be empty. So you see, if you run the program, because you are not storing anything in DS9, apart from red, you are storing into DS10. You see, right? DS9 observations, it is 0. DS9 observations, it is 0. Next. Next. What is the difference between if statement and if statement and where statement, that I'll tell later on. So now, if you wanted to perform multiple actions, suppose to say if this condition is true, then next action I can perform. Likewise, I have 2 actions. In this case, if you have, then we can use do loop. Okay, we can use do statement. So now you can see here, if team is equal to red, then do. If this condition is satisfied, then do team is equal to 1. X is equal to 10. So what you are doing, you are creating team is equal to 1, X is equal to 10. Right, end. So if you are running the program, you can see here, it will create a variable called the team, it will write the value 1. Or else you can create another variable, team N, and maybe you can write another variable, team C. So if you run the program, what happens is DS10. So it is performed 2 actions, right? If team is equal to red, then team N equal to 1, team C equal to R. Numeric variable, character variable. You got the point, right? Whenever you are writing do, compulsory we have to end with end statement. Okay, if this condition is satisfied, then it will perform next 2 actions. If this condition is satisfied, then it will perform next two actions. Clear it, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So now you can see here, this is how it is. So with this, we are done with if-then statement. With this, we are done with if-then statement. Clear it, everyone, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Right. Next, where statement. You can see where statement. So where statement we'll see in upcoming sessions. So along with where, we can use multiple operators. We can use arithmetic operators. We can use comparison operators. We can use logical operators, other and where expressions only. So all these cases, I'll give you an example how this will work along with where statement. Okay, is that fine?
Yes, sir. Okay.
Right. Okay, that's all for today, guys. If you have any questions, you can ask. Otherwise, you are done for today. Okay, this week we'll complete where, and next week we'll start with combining data sets. So guys, I have a plan. Actually, from next week onwards, I wanted to take two classes. From next week onwards, I wanted to take two classes. So your time will be 7:15 to 8:45. So one is SAS class, another one is domain class. You guys are okay? Because I see there are some interviews coming around.
Yes, sir.
So like it is already, we are in July. So for me to complete, it will take 1 more month easily. 1 more month, not 1.5 months it will take. So July mid, July ending, August ending. August ending we will do our syllabus. Project we'll do for another half an hour, another 15 days. Okay, 15 to 20 days, 3 weeks. So it will be somewhere around September. Okay, or August end, it will be somewhere around August end and September mid you have to do. And once your October, November, December comes, it becomes a last quarter. Okay, so again in the month of December there will be no openings. In the month of November itself you will have no openings. So I have a plan. So if you go with this, both the sessions, at least we can try to attend interviews and we can do the things. You got my point, what I mean to say?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So I want everyone to attend 2 sessions. So second session is completely theory, no worries. No need to practice, just to highlight some important points, note it down. And before you come to next class, just go through that points and come, that's it. So nothing much in theory, that is completely theory. So you need to practice only SAS, so that anyhow you are doing it. Is that fine, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Is that fine, yes or no, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Sure.
so I will let you know a day before. So I have told you a heads up a day before. I'll let you know when it will start. Probably next week, maybe next week will start. This week, maybe in another 1 week, 10 days, we'll start both the sessions. Okay, so 1 week to 10 days, we'll start both the sessions. So I want everyone to attend that. Otherwise, if I go in this way, you will be reaching October, September and October. October again, there is a chance that openings will come down. Okay, October you will have less, and it is November, you have no openings for sure. Okay, because financial year ends, right? Financial year ends for US, UK. For all other countries, January to December is financial year ending. For us, it is March. So the reason, so we have to complete bit early so that you can attend interviews and you can settle down. Otherwise, you will be delayed by next 3 months. That is the reason I am encouraging everyone to attend both the sessions and complete bit early. You got my point, right?
Yes, sir.
Right. So no, Raj, I wanted to go slow. I want to slow. I want to go. So your wish. You can let me know if anyone has any issues. You can let me know. As I told you, second class is only theory. Just go. You hardly spend 15 to 20 minutes on that theory, just recapping, revising what is explained yesterday. That's it. For theory, no need to spend much more time. Only for SAS, I need 1 hour practice. That's it. Okay. So I will start, I will let you know before 1 day or 2 days when I start the session. Okay. Right. That's all for today, guys. Thank you. Bye.